last week against the Kansas City Chiefs.
With the 1st and 10 in play action, and he's got his tight end Rudolph, who caught a touchdown pass the other night in Kansas City. He is tackled by Merrick. It's Booker right through the middle into the secondary, and he gets the first down. Brought down by Merrick. A burst of 15 yards. 2nd down and 5. Fake to Penny. And down the sideline. It's caught for a touchdown. Grabbed by Evan Ingram. The tight end for a 2nd consecutive game has caught 1 for 6. Jacobs in the backfield, 1st and 10. Jacobs with a block by the right tackle Parker, and he goes outside with a broken tackle and forced there by Holmes. Out of bounds he goes, running on the near side, picks up 11. Into the nickel, 2nd down and 4 for Carr. And he's got his big tight end who missed the last game. That's 2-time Pro Bowler Darren Waller, who picks up 6, and he's right at midfield on the play. First drive by the Raiders, 3rd down and 4 for Carr, crumbling pocket, and he goes downfield. That's Renfro. He is a devastatingly good slot receiver. Holmes caught up with him. 49-18 so far this season. 2nd down, 4. Jacobs looking for a block. Got one from Moreau, finding room down to about the 6. Tackled by Logan Ryan.
I guess this would be the 3rd game now since they had a bye week last week.
Yeah, they're 2-0 since Gruden resigned. 2nd and goal. Caught. Great time and a touchdown. Renfro. He beats Bradbury in a 2-yard touchdown pass. And the Raiders an extra point from tying the game. 2nd down and 5. Outside they go to Booker. With the beat on him as Abram. There was a nice block by Soldier to get that time. Kadarius Toney is back there. Their terrific rookie receiver. Keeps the ball and is drilled behind the line of scrimmage. Hit on the play, Redwell, Carl Nassib.
Which normally is a difficult down to convert, but they're dropping a safety in the middle of the field.
Richard was in the backfield, and Tay Crowder was right there, and the ball was dropped. They rule it incomplete. It's 4th down. After the punt and penalty, 34. Giants have it 1st and 10. Daniel Jones. Oh, from behind it, swatted away. Ngakoue knocked it away and recovered inside by Phylon. 2nd down and 2 with Jacobs. Renfro, by the way, back in. As he bounces here, Jacobs looking for a block. Does it more on his own. Inside the 10, stiff-arming his way into Bradbury. Blocked by Parker. Dropped by Waller. That was right at the goal line, and the coverage by James Bradbury. He was in the vicinity. Jackson was there, too. Carlson. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Just seconds into the 2nd quarter. 10-7 Raiders. Well, thank you. And again, Saquon Barkley is out for a 4th consecutive game. 2nd down and 8. Peart, the block at the left tackle, outside to Booker. Shoved out of bounds by Corey Littleton. With a catch and run that picks up a 1st down to the 32.
Man-to-man coverage in this down and distance.
From the 39, Kenny Golladay atop your screen. Ingram, who caught the touchdown in the opening drive in motion. Yep, look
bodies at the line of scrimmage. There they go. They're backing away.
3rd and 3. Crumbling pocket. Going to Toney, and he can throw. Kadarius Toney grabbed from behind and brought down. Redwell. Couple guys were there, but Brandon Faison along with Hobbs.
For the Raiders and how they're handling things.
3rd down and 7. Parker a block at the right, tackling Carr. Pings a shot downfield, incomplete for Edwards. They're going to him a lot. Booker back there with Jones. And they go right here with a nice tumbling catch made by Kenny Golladay.
Ready, set.
Jones to Booker. Nice block inside, and it came from Hernandez in the run to the 30. 3rd down 11. On the move, here he goes. Solder had the block, and Jones on the move. Slowed up that time by Abram. for the tie. Now at 10. With 3:24 to go. Raiders coming in with back-to-back double-digit wins. And they came in completely healthy in this game. 3rd and 1. Blocked by Parker. Out to it. Hurdles a defender. Ingold with a nice move. Then brought down by Crowder. A gain of 7 on 3rd and 1. Put him at the 46. Richard again in backfield with Carr. Wide open here. Across the middle he goes. Taking him down to the 35. And Richard is back there. Carr, 10 of 17. Downfield it goes with a catch by Waller, the tight end. Drilled on the play by McKinney. Held on, picks up 19 and put him down to the 22. Drake in the backfield. And to the end zone, and incomplete and high for Waller. And he's a tall guy at 6'6", coverage by Bradbury.
I tell you what, there's times where you throw it and you wish you had a string because you just wanted to pull it back.
32-yarder here by Carlson, and it will tuck in, and they've got the lead with 6 seconds to play. Kenyon Drake is the running back for Carr on a 3rd and 7. After the block at the right tackle to the near side. Oh, it's picked off! He is gone! Kiss McKinney goodbye! Pick 6 for the Giants.
The question was, is Brian Edwards going to be more involved? Is Zay Jones going to be more involved? And right now, with Waller coming back off of injury, it's been all Hunter Renfrow at the wide receiver position.
Underneath to the fullback Ingold. Tay Crowder's got a beat on him. Carr on 1st and 10. With 2 back there now, including Drake, who's on the fly. 1st and 10 from the 23. It's out to Kenyon Drake. He got a block out there by Edwards and works his way down the sideline. 2nd down and 1. Jacobs got the block. Cuts, has the first. Stiff arms his way out there by Ryan and takes it for a 1st down. And near midfield to the 46. Good run of 14. That's Odell Beckham Jr.
It'll be interesting to see if he clears waivers on Monday, and then who's going to be in the mix to acquire him if he does clear waivers.
Gun throw on 1st and 10. Drilled on the play by Benardrick McKinney, activated as a COVID roster replacement. 2 tight ends, 9th play of the drive. Jacobs in, 3rd and 1. Oh, wrapped up. Dexter Lawrence got him and devoured him. A short 2 with Jacobs in the backfield. Mariota got it. Twisting his way to the 29. Over there, a couple, including McKinney. Josh Jacobs just limped off the field. Drake is in at 1st and 15. Another with the block. Downfield they go. Zay Jones with a catch at the 14. Stopped there by Ryan. 20-yard pickup and a 1st down for the Raiders.
But a missed opportunity for the Raiders.
6 defensive backs. 3rd down and 3. Carr to the end zone over Waller's head. Incomplete coverage by Bradbury. 25-yard try here by Daniel Carlson. It is away and good, and it's a 1-point game with 5:20 to go in the 3rd. Bengal defense. Boomer, thank you. 3rd and 8 here for Jones. Barrett a block. Booker a block. Downfield it goes, and Galladay's got it right in front of Faison. Jones. Tony's got it, and the 1st down. Knocked out of bounds by Perriman.
Lady, what's that?
Booker back there, 2nd and 5. Got a block from Hernandez. That opens the door. Also got a block from Skura down to the 20. Abram got him. Pickup of 7. Wheels his way to a 1st down.
Lady, what's that?
Daniel Jones, they come around with Crosby. He gets away from him. He's grabbed on the play by Thomas, and he throws it away. Heavy pressure coming off the defensive line of the Las Vegas Raiders. He'll try a 32-yard attempt to extend the New York Giant lead. Little wind to deal with, and it goes 20-16 New York.
We didn't have time to show them all, but every single one of them had a landing as smooth as that.
It was terrific. 1st and 10. Oh, they've got Waller for his first big play of the game to the 48. hit by Ryan, 25-yard gain and a first down. First down and 10. Drake is in there. Josh Jacobs was in a big hole, and look at him sprint his way, putting his foot in the turf and taking it inside the 35. A massive hole in there for Kenyon Drake. Drake is in, first and 10, 25. Andre James the block, and that is caught nicely by Drake, and here he is off to the races, and he's got the first down. Third and 6. Carr, and he's got Jacobs on the cross, and following him well, Logan Ryan. No one makes more tackles from the secondary in the NFL than Logan Ryan, number 1 in that category. 25-yard field goal. No, he missed it. They have lost 3 games after leading during the 4th. Can they break it today and come up with a win? 3rd and 7 for Daniel Jones. 13 of 16, moves up niftily on the move. He needs the 30. Spun and got it to the 31, and it couldn't have come at a better time. 2nd down, 13. Empty backfield, going deep and incomplete. Going for Ingram, flags on the field. Nate Hobbs was defending, the rookie is called.
Pass interference, defense, number 39. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
They need the Raider 45. Here they come from the side, and downfield he goes, and it's incomplete. And they're bringing the heat with Nate Hobbs off the corner. James, the snap. Carr, deep. Oh, he's got Zay Jones intercepted at the 50. It's picked off for a second time by McKinney. A pick 6 and a big fourth-quarter interception by Xavier McKinney. One a pick 6 and one right there in the 4th, which is huge. Penny on 1st and 10, bulldozing his way into the grasp of Abram.
And he was right in position to get the easy interception.
Extra blocker in Cunningham, 1st and 10. It's Penny spinning free and into the secondary. Wow, what an effort. Merritt got him. 13-yard pickup on the heels of an 11-yard run. Penny is in for Booker, 3rd and 9, Jones. And he throws a strike right there to Ingram at the 20, hit by...
Run your whole offense.
Graham Gano has kicked field goals today of 35 and 32, and this from 38 to extend the lead. Waller made the catch, picking up 3. 2nd down, 7. Waller a chip. And then they go down as he runs the route and takes it up to the 47-yard line, picking up 19.
Held Carolina to 3 points last week. Kansas City only 20 points, and today doing an outstanding job thus far.
Drake underneath on 1st and 10, brought down by Crowder, picks up 9. Up ahead it goes. Drake sifting through traffic inside the 25, brought down by Ryan, put him at the 24, 17-yard gain. Jacobs in, 3rd and 2. Underneath, Renfro, and walks the tightrope and out of bounds. The spot is huge, and he got it to the 12. 2nd and 10. Jacobs releases. Ball from behind, knocked away. It was a big hit by Roche, the rookie. It's loose and a fumble, and the Giants have recovered. Quincy Roche made that play happen. And the 2-game winning streak of the Raiders comes to a close. And now, after beginning 0-3, the Giants have gone 3-3 since.